Perfect fit nga ba si Rajon Rondo sa Mavericks o madidisrupt niya lang ang high-octane offense ng koponan dahil sa pagiging ball dominant niya? Let's talk now to basketball analyst Enzo Flojo. Welcome back to The Score, Enzo.
Hey, Deej, what's up?
Thank you for braving the Friday traffic coming here. Anyway, ito, big news to start the day. Rajon Rondo, finally, Danny Ainge pulled the trigger.
Yes.
Trinade na nga ng Celtics and to wow, for Rondo, very few situations would be a dream situation. Would this be a perfect fit para kay Rajon Rondo?
Well, definitely, Teach. No? On paper, you have Rondo who's a very good playmaker. He doesn't need to shoot out from the outside. Kasi if you look at the Mavericks, you have Dirk Nowitzki, you have Chandler Parsons, Monte Ellis. So, ang dami niyang pwede bigyan ng bola. So, on paper, this could be, like you said, a dream come true fit for someone like Rajon Rondo.
I-remind natin sa ating mga viewers kung gaano kagaling ba ito si Rondo. Kasi for some, medyo out of the radar na si Rondo dahil the Celtics haven't been very good. That's being nice, for quite some time since iniwanan sila ng Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett, diba, at the Ray Allen. Pero, how good has Rondo still been after injury, diba, na wala siya na matagal? How good has he been?
Well, he actually leads the league in assists, about 10.8 per game. So you put the league's #1 assists guy in a team that is the #1 in terms of points per 100 possessions. So, parang yung #1 offense, gumaling pa because they have the #1 assists guy. So, again, on paper, for Dallas and for Rondo, this seems like a match made in heaven. No? And this, on paper, could put them among the elite in the Western Conference.
You're right. Well, there's some drawbacks, of course, because it's a trade. It's not a free agent signing. So, may pinamigay itong Dallas. And one of those guys, si Wright, si Brandon Wright. May mga iba nagsabi na parang sayang naman na mawawalan ka rin ng Brandon Wright na who's doing well off the bench. Around 20 minutes a game, almost 9 points a game, 5 rebounds a game, and mataas yung kanya field goal efficiency, parang 74.5%. Ganun kataas. Kamusta ngayon ang depth ng Dallas na you lost 2 forwards, him and si Crowder ata, no? Kamusta yung effect nun sa bench naman ng Dallas?
Well, the bench of Dallas gets really, really thin. I checked the roster this morning after the trade, and parang they have no true center aside from Tyson Chandler. So, ang papalit sa kanya would be someone like Greg Smith. Okay, Charlie Villanueva is on the roster. I'm not sure how significant he's going to be, if at all, this season. No? So, what Dallas did here was they strengthened their core players by sacrificing their bench. And I guess they're hoping that the core 5, that's Rondo, Ellis, Nowitzki, Parsons, and Chandler, which is a very good core, they're hoping that that core 5 can be good enough to actually, win them a lot of games in the Western Conference.
And, 4 of those 5 guys are still young.
Yes.
Exception of Dirk Nowitzki and maybe si Tyson Chandler.
Who will be a future Hall of Famer, of course.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Pero ang point dun is, kasi pagdating ng playoffs, most teams, lumiliit na yung rotation.
Yes,
8 players, malaki na yung 9 players, minsan 7, 8 players. The 8th guy gets probably 10, 15 minutes. So, would this be the best starting 5 right now in the NBA? Rondo, Monte Ellis, Chandler Parsons, Tyson Chandler, and Dirk Nowitzki.
It's difficult to say if it's going to be the best starting 5 on the court. On paper, it can definitely match up with the best starting 5s out there. Because if you look at Dallas's roster, their only weak spot prior to today really was that point guard spot, and they're in a conference that has Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook, Steph Curry, so they needed to upgrade that spot. And I think they did with Rondo, the #1 passing point guard in the NBA. He's known for being a great perimeter defender. So at least sa mga aspetong yun, they really, nailed the bull on the head with this one. But it remains to be seen. You don't play basketball on paper, you play on the court. So we'll see what happens.
Isa pang issue na dati na ng issue is yung kanyang pagiging magaling na teammate. Okay, he's had issues with Ray Allen before and some of the other teammates. How coachable is a Rajon Rondo as well, and he's gonna be going with another future Hall of Famer, Rick Carlisle, who's won a championship already.
That's true.
How do you think Rick Carlisle can rein him in and get the best out of a Rajon Rondo para maging mas effective para sa Mavericks?
Well, I think Carlisle is going to use the Boston Celtics. He was a Celtic before, of course. So he'll probably use that connection between him and Rondo to try and, get Rondo to buy into the system of Dallas. So, of course, malaking adjustment yan for Rondo. Like what you said, he's a ball-dominant point guard, which means he'll probably take a lot of possessions out of someone like Monte Ellis. So, feeling ko ang numbers na bababa dito, malamang kay Ellis. Baka
Ellis.
umangat ng konti yung kay Parsons pa.
Because he's a catch-and-shoot guy.
Yes, that's true. So that's maybe something we could expect moving forward for Dallas.
Okay, so ang challenge na tingin mo dito is probably for Monte and the other guys to learn how to play well or better without the ball and move without the ball?
Definitely kailangan. No? Kasi if you see Rondo how he plays, he really likes the play to start with him. He's not the type of point guard who, when he passes the half court, like he passes it agad to a team. He doesn't do that. He takes 6-7 dribbles and then he makes a play. But sometimes Dallas likes to use that pick and roll or pick and pop offense, and Rondo would be the perfect point guard.
All right, last question before I let you go. Is this enough to get them over the top? Right now, the two best teams in the West clearly are Golden State and Memphis. Siyempre, nandyan pa rin yung threat ng
San Antonio's there, Clippers are there, Houston's
Trailblazers there, Houston's there. Is this enough to bring them over the top and put them in the top 3 in the West at least humamon sa Golden State at sa Memphis?
Well, bottom line, I think this is a net positive for Dallas. No? Does it put them among the elite? On paper, yes. But again, in a tough Western Conference with Oklahoma City climbing the rankings, it's going to be really, really difficult. If they were in the East, I'd put them solid top 3 or top 2 even, the way Cleveland's playing. But in the West, ang hirap pa rin eh. Even if they're really, really stacked, I mean, Dallas could end up as a top 8 team in the league, but that might not be good enough to be a top 4 team in the West.
So even home court advantage is not even guaranteed yet
definitely
with this
not.
team. Well, thanks so much, Enzo. That's just how tough the West is, and we're going to have a lot of fun watching the remainder of the season draw out itself. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
See you again. Meanwhile, sa susunod na balita natin, Philippine Anscals bumagsak ng konti sa bagong FIFA rankings at University of the Philippines panalo sa UAP football. The score will be right back.